Greetings, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they defeated an abyssal anglerfish monster off the coast of Meribottom. They had thwarted the attempts of the cult of Dagon to feast upon the outsiders of the town, and they had spotted, perhaps, an old friend out in the seas, but lost track of him in the final moments. And of course, how could we forget that we also saw just on the horizon, launching a flare, Navy ships from the Ruby Carnate, accompanied by goblin galleys, making their way towards the shore. But we cast our eye back to our crew, who are on the ship. What are they doing? What's the goal here? Your ship's taken a little bit of a beating. It's been patched up somewhat. It is ship shape. The winds can be with you. Or do you head back to the town?
Yeah, I think Yama's definitely been patching up the ship.
Yeah,
so he's
I
been
think
kind of
Pauly,
running around.
Pauly would have, Pauly will probably just continue navigating. But you guys want to go back to the town? I feel like we should.
I feel like we should go see what these ships want.
Yeah,
Tez,
what about those guys?
You do remember, obviously, you left Tezra and her small squad of the Golden Guardians on the shore. They were fighting off some of the monstrosities, the lobstrosities, even.
They'll live.
And they did owe you half a payment for.
Let's go back.
Yeah, we should get that.
I like money.
Okay.
Oh, what about that other brig? That brig that we was it a brig?
Yes. Yeah.
That's right, another ship in the battle.
Matthias Creel, he kind of made a break for it. His ship, much worse for wear than yours, taking many Kraken hits. You're confident that if you wanted to, you could sort of sail out there and catch up to them. But they looked like they were making a break for it.
Booking it.
Yep. And
well, feck the cowards.
The Ruby ships are coming in from a bit of a different angle, so you don't think that Matthias would have run into them on his way out.
Well, maybe Yama definitely shares with the party that, hey guys, I definitely recognize some of those ships as goblin warships. We might be in a better place to face them on land, since we are only one single ship. There is the matter of our payment too, so perhaps 2 birds, 1 stone.
Where's the other bird?
On land. Let's get him. Pauly flies off and doesn't see the ship any further.
He comes back about 5 minutes later as he sees the listing in the ocean. He's like, "Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get you guys back."
Yeah, you see them turned into the wind in irons or whatever it is.
Completely stalled.
Yeah. Karu, you're, I guess, deposited back on the ship. Is there anything you're kind of on the lookout for currently, or are you just straight into the rigging, pulling wires, pulling ropes?
I would say that I'm pretending to be doing that, but I'm just kind of looking at that spot where the fishy dude dropped down, and I'm kind of watching looking for shadows under the water kind of thing in that area, in vain. I'm too far away, but yeah, I'm up in the rigging, just kind of mournfully looking out, I guess, because I think I'm maybe it is my brother. So I'm thinking of what the captain was saying.
Does Pauly see that?
You flew Karu out there, if you remember.
No, I know. Does Pauly see Karu looking out mournfully?
I think you probably see Karu high note, knots, but he's not he's not watching him. Yeah, it's the same knot, and he's just pulling it
over and then again.
tying. So he's trying to look like he's doing work, but he's just
Pauly's gonna set up a. Is there any corpses did we find anything on the ship? We didn't, did we?
There are actually most of the stuff you cut off the ship pretty quickly as it was climbing up. Those kind of
for funny brevity's sake, can we just say there's one?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure some
I'm
got onto
going-
the ship and were cut down.
I'm going to tie one of the corpses just like onto the actual wheel, and then like have it like dangling there, so like it looks like it's kind of like moving the wheel a little bit.
Mhm.
And then put my hand on it, and then I'm gonna sneak up behind Karu.
Shit. I'm not gonna spot this.
You want me to roll for it? Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely.
You should, yeah. See if you can pass my passive perception of 11.
16.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, you're
It's a
good.
plus 14. I rolled a 2.
Fuck. Yeah, you're good. You would always be good. Even if you got a 0, you'd be good.
All right. I'm just gonna go like, look. I'm just gonna go like right up in your ear and like, that's really not gonna work. Just so you know.
I think Karu just go, and he just drops the rope completely. And he's like,
I'll try definitely grab the rope and go, alright, you gotta do it like this, you know. So, that fish person, you good?
yeah. I don't know, maybe it was my brother, like you said.
Yeah. I mean,
You know when you see a person and you think they look familiar, but it's been a long time since you saw that person, so you're like, maybe I don't know what they would look like now. Maybe they just that was kind of what that was. That kind of
like
looked like
the years have gone on, but you know they've aged. So you got this image of what they used to look like 10 years ago.
yeah,
You know, then they got really fat. You
yeah,
know?
or
Yeah, it's
just
like
different
yeah.
haircut. Yeah.
It was like when we saw Ymir, you know, but like that was more because like he was like a Death Knight now. That was a bit weird, but I get you.
I don't
Who's
know who you're
Ymir?
talking about. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sexiest rock pellet you'll ever see.
Anyone else know who he's talking about?
I don't think I'm here for this conversation. I'm
No.
definitely not up in the rigging. Yama's
No.
way
Anyway,
too heavy.
I digress. I see what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like maybe I just wanted it to be someone I knew, and maybe there can be other mutant fish people out there. They're allowed to be. Maybe I just was hoping it was someone.
I mean, they were kind of weird with you, weren't they? They did see you and kind of just.
Yeah, they're like that. Yeah, thank you. I thought they were weird too. I didn't know what to do with that energy.
I feel like you
if
got kind of weird from them, though. Like, your eyes kind of glazed. Gave me a look.
I don't remember that. When did that happen?
When about the time I turned into a giant bird and, like, flew the fuck away from you.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird of you to do that. I don't know why. You did
Yeah,
that.
I thought you were going to murder me, so I tried
Why
to
would
get
I
out of
murder? Why would I murder you? You're my friend.
there. I don't know. I needed to get out.
Yama calls
look.
up. You definitely stabbed me.
Oh yeah. Hey Yama, do you remember why I stabbed you?
The man we were fighting, you talked to him in an elven language.
That guy had a cool earring. Where'd that earring go, by the way?
What's your passive perception?
It's really good, actually.
Karu's wearing it.
18.
Oh, I imagine that's enough, Dan, right? To see that there is a second earring in the same, like, stretched lobe piercing.
So
Pauly
Karu's
decides-
always had one
Yeah.
of that pearl earring in the stretched lobe, but now he is wearing 2 in the same ear.
Pauly decides to ignore it, and then continue the conversation.
Yeah,
love
so the man then said one word to you, looked at Sorn, and you went off.
Who's Sawn?
Oh, sorry, Cillian. Whoops. Whoops. Ooh.
Sawn's back? Oh my god, no.
Yeah, who's this Sawn?
Yama's seeing shit.
Sorn's a really great guy. You've got a lot to measure up to. Big boots to fill.
I hear he was kind of a dick.
He was a master of arcane energies. You couldn't even compare.
He kept trying to
And I
make me go to
teleport away.
sleep.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember any of this, so I don't know if I should believe any of you. I do know I stabbed you, Yama, but I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't remember any of it.
Well, honestly, like, I forgive you. I'm no foul, I'm fine, but
Oh
We
no.
lost Cait because the video's gone too.
I said
Must have
already?
stabbed her really hard.
Hello.
No?
Oh yeah, you're
We
back.
can hear you now. We can hear you now. The video's gone.
Yeah, the video completely died. I don't
itself.
think it's coming back.
That's right.
Okay.
So I love the idea that like you're on the ship, you're all kind of at your stations, moving,
Just talking away.
talking
Yeah.
away, and like in the background you see, you know, the upside down corpse of a fish bigger than your ship, just sort of floating there, slowly starting to sink and bubble in the bay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Pauly, mate, like with this conversation happening, you heard like a crunch with like the corpse's arms snapped in the wheel. It's like, oh shit, we can continue this by yelling more. So I fly back down, you know, get back onto the wheel.
I think Karu comes down from the rigging. I think he's like, did we want to get anything off the big fish corpse? Was there anything that anybody like? Did we want it to like light or anything? Or
So
we
we
just gonna let it?
So we don't retcon shit. I'm pretty sure when I mentioned that, we said it was gonna start sinking anyway. So
Oh, okay. Well, Karu's still gonna ask that question.
I mean,
As
it's
it bloop, bloop,
certainly
bloop, bloop, bloop.
I wanted its bulby thing.
I'm a fish man. I can swim. I'm just saying, Captain.
I'd say, yeah, it's definitely like filling up with water and kind of sinking, and it's like a roiling bubble of whatever the putricide gases that build up in animals as it starts. But this thing is like as big as a ship of the line itself, right? Like it takes a while for something like this to sink.
Okay, yes, Karu, please go get the bulby thing that it had dangling.
One bulby
Light.
thing coming up.
Get its like a light testicle, please.
One
Singular.
light testicle coming up.
Thank
And
you.
Dive into the water and head towards the corpse.
You just can't ask the shipmates like that. Just be great, you know. You ask for a testicle, they go get you a testicle.
How is he gonna pull it up?
Yeah, you do.
You know what? I'm pretty sure Karu can fondle balls like a champ. All right, it'll be fine.
As you swim
Don't
closer,
you go
Karu,
questioning Karu's ball fondling skills. All right.
He might revive the fish if he's not careful with how good he fondles those balls. Like, jeez.
And then we kill it again, and then we fondle its balls again. Repeat the cycle.
Karu's having an inner monologue as he's swinging along, like, don't over fondle the ball.
Don't over fondle. Oh, God forbid.
Jesus, what have I done? What have I created?
You don't have to create anything. We will find a way.
I'm on a fuck ton of Codral, baby. What's up? Pharmacy strength.
Hey, you and me both. It's gonna be a fun one today, Dan.
Let's go.
Love this. So, Karu, you dive into the water like a pro, like an Olympic swimmer, and make your way sort of perpendicular to the ship to the sort of corpse of the beast. As you get closer and closer, you can see it. It's sort of its mouth, its big jaw, kind of open in death. The big, giant, serrated teeth in it. And you can see, like, even though it's upside down, so it's on maybe a bit of a weird angle, that antennae with the giant organ, we'll call it, at the end. Now, no longer glowing, but it's definitely some sort of, like, sack of membrane and fluid of a clear nature. And this thing is probably about as big as you are, if not bigger, right? Because this was the thing that sits atop a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And that
It's kind of like
that antenna, if you remember, was like an obelisk that was sort of 15 feet wide.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like looking at it going, this looked a lot smaller further away. It does. And I think he like swims around it a little bit, and he's just kind of like, I don't know if I could do anything with. I don't think I can. I can't even carry this back to this ship. Could I like look in its mouth and like pull out one of its teeth, maybe?
Give me a perception or like an investigation check or something like that too.
I will absolutely go for an investigation check here. for obvious reasons.
How far is Karu from us?
He's probably probably not super far. I mean, like the map we were using was quite big, just for the tactical side of things. But you were kind of just in the bay, just off the coast, effectively.
If I was to yell or assist this perception,
You're probably a little bit far away for that. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I'm pretty fast. Like I can always come back, but I want to see. I'm looking at the teeth currently.
Yeah. You see that now this thing is like mouth open, limp, water kind of flooding in and out of its open gore. You're seeing bits of clothing, shoes, boots, remnants like an arm floating up out of its, all obviously heavily digested, and so the remains of what it's been feeding on, effectively. With a 16, you do spot, with sort of a glint, this seems to be something sort of brassy, kind of locked together, almost like two crescent shapes that are somewhat locked together, seemingly floating, which is weird. Heart maybe recently connected to something that has been dissolved and or eaten. As you get closer and have a look at them, these brass armbands bear the shape of entwined tentacles lined with veins of black ink.
Ooh,
I'm gonna grab them. Yeah,
that sounds like a Karu item.
it does. Yeah, he like loops them onto his belt or whatever to look at later.
And you also spot sort of just a sort of glinting. It's kind of it's not quite floating, but it's not sinking. It's sort of like reached a weird equilibrium just below the water's surface. A sort of slightly smaller than a fist-sized sapphire that seems to be kind of just bobbing around in the surf there.
Yes, I grabbed that too.
Cool.
I grabbed that, put that in my pocket.
Yep.
Ow. Sorry, cat. Jeez.
Cat invasion.
She just used me as her device of which to crawl up. Okay, so yeah, I think Karu quickly makes an assessment like I can't just like cut this thing off at the eye. The ball, it's too big. No amount of fondling will be able to do anything with this. I should just I'll just go let the captain know. And as like he goes to like swim back to the ship, I do think he like hesitates and he does actually like start to swim a little bit towards where the fish guy was. Like he just kind of like, and then he goes, maybe he gets like 3/4 of the way there before he just goes, nah, that's dumb. You're being dumb. And like turns around and starts swimming back to the ship. And when I get back to the ship, I'm just like, Captain,
Yes?
did you know that thing when like something's far away from you, it looks smaller than it is? Yeah, that eye is massive. I can't bring it
Only
back.
makes me want to have the big shiny testicle even more.
I understand. I really do. But I can't. I don't think I can.
Not with some rope?
Like, yeah, maybe. Can we cut it off?
What is your plan for this? Like, what are you gonna do with it?
I want to dangle it. It needs to, our ship needs a testicle.
Is this the equivalent of like truck nuts on a car?
Oh no.
No! Damn, you're not supposed to give away my ideas until I do them.
But I mean, you can certainly take your time.
No, it's okay. The ship doesn't need truck nuts, I guess.
Another big sea enemy.
Alright, fine. Alright, then you're going to be cutting off the next set of truck nuts, alright?
I will happily do that, sir. I will make that my official title on the ship if there is such a thing.
The truck nutter. The truck nutter.
Yeah, just
You
the
guys can
nutter.
have my brothers if you want. He's not too far back that way, I think.
Is that your brother?
Well, so his army's ships. Maybe he's on board.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
don't
sure.
like him, though, right?
I can see why you
He-
don't want to go that way. Gotcha.
Would your son?
Definitely
Could your son be there, though?
a dick. Possible.
Do you want to see your son right now?
Well, we definitely shouldn't encounter them when we're on the ocean. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah, you think?
Look, you don't have to. I can meet your son. I can do that, and then I can tell you how he's going.
Well, yeah. It's probably more likely that my son is here and not my brother. My brother being like the almighty leader and all. I don't know. I think I might feel a bit better when we have the solid land beneath my feet.
No, I don't know what it's like having brothers. I think having a brother would be cool. Could you imagine like a brother named Sawley? You know, he'd be cool. I bet he'd be blue.
I feel like I've heard you talk about your brother before, and you don't have one?
I may have one. Who knows? There could be a brother called Sawley if something happens to Pauly.
We're just like sowing the seeds.
It's a lot easier to colour in a tattoo than.
Yeah, that's it. Look, there's some blue there. There's some blue there.
So I'll say this: based on where these ships are and where your ship is, kind of compared to the beast, you were quite close to the beast when you felled it. If you wanted to take some time, to, as a crew, cut this thing off and attach it to the ship, either the front or the aft, somehow, I'd say you certainly have that kind of time, but the Navy ships are definitely going to be in a position to prevent you leaving by that time, right?
Okay.
So it'll be you can only go towards the shore after that without running a blockade. So you have you have options.
We were going to go to the shore anyway, right, guys?
Yeah, we got to get our money.
All right, well, let's truck nut it then. We'll chuck a rope around the testicle, and then we can drag the rest of the body behind it.
Yeah, Yama
could
could
go.
maybe make a strength check to see how fast he can go with the truck nuts.
I mean, because we were going to go to shore anyway,
if we
weren't
get
we?
stuck there, I could just teleport us out. They won't let
We-
us leave,
we
and we need to leave.
need the ship
I think
and
we
said
need the
truck
ship.
nut. Can you teleport the truck nut?
If
I
you're
mean, if you
touching
can
it,
carry it,
I just
can carry
explained
it
how
in.
I can't carry it.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You're only making me want this truck nut even more.
No,
okay?
I want to have it too. Karu wants it too. Like what? Yeah, we could tie a rope around it. Maybe I can just like sit on the next stalk of the ball. I don't know, and just like saw it off while you're dragging it to the shore. So
Okay,
like on the
alright.
way to the shore, I can like be working on severing it, and then by the time we get to the shore, we will have your truck nut.
You know what? We should bring the body anyway, because technically it's those cultists' god, right? So
Yeah. Also, like
I mean,
that.
we need to
fish
prove
swallowed-
that it's we need to
that-
prove that it's dead.
But also, like, to the surviving villagers, that fish swallowed a whole bunch of people. I was swimming through that muck. They might be able to find some belongings or something. And as he says that, Karu like grabs the tentacle arm cuffs. He's like, yeah, and
Ooh.
he puts them on.
Are they
like,
fluffy?
Oh, they should
I don't
be.
like the way you did that.
Karu's like, that's my other set.
The pink fluffy set in your bedroom.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, if we're gonna do that, we'll attach the monster to us, because we weren't going to leave straight away, were we?
Like leave fish.
We were going
village.
to go to shore first.
Yeah, we should see how those other people are doing. / get our payment, at least.
Sounds good. All right, done.
I don't need to totally avoid these people. I just think it'd be best to be on land, have that meeting.
Yeah,
Let's
meet
do
them
that.
without their
Okay.
armada. kind of
Let's
thing.
attach the big old monster, and then
All right,
sounds
give
I
me
mean,
a
I could just artillery strike them if we want.
That's a good.
But now we'll see what
strong-
they have to talk. We don't want to have one of the 4 large factions against us just yet.
No, yeah.
Until we have a sizable force behind us.
Especially if
yeah.
they have the entire hobgoblin armies at their beck and call.
Yeah, but I do like the fact that we have someone who's just like heavy artillery, basically ready to go. I like it.
Yes,
We've not had that before. We've not had it to this extent before.
If you're gonna add truck nuts to your ship, you need to have heavy artillery in the vehicle. It's important. It's pretty much a guarantee.
Particularly if we're gonna have a truck nut this big, like we've got to.
Correct.
It's got to
Can't
match,
have one without the other.
or else
That's
we're just
exactly it.
compensating for something. So let's just like,
Yeah, we'll get a big sticker on the back that says "Don't tread on me." You know.
No steppy. Shit.
All right, back to shore it is. Let's go.
Dan, do we have an opportunity for Karu to run a rope, tie it round like the stalk near the, and
I
then
think
like
Your ship is
saddle
definitely
over the
too
stalk?
small to pull the entire fish.
Okay.
But you can tighten it to get some, and with a combined effort of Karu and perhaps Yama and maybe a bit of a blowtorch-esque effect from Cillian, are able to kind of slice through this.
I can add some torque, you know, with the sails, you know, really just rev that engine.
Yeah.
Really rip it
Until
off.
sort of a sickly, wet, ripping sound just. And you pull the a bit of that black antenna still attached to this viscous-filled, transparent sack with a sickly yellow tinge to it, sort of like a large pus ball as big as a. I'm trying to think, what is the equivalent size? I guess as big as a cow.
wow. Do you think
That's
like?
cool.
Do you think severing it might have fucked up the ability to, you know how that thing like kind of blinded us with the light? Wouldn't it be cool if we could like harness that power against?
No, I don't like bright lights.
Not on us.
Sometimes
Like,
when you add things to ships, they become magical. We had that with the Kraken.
yeah, like what if?
Yeah, what happened to that ship?
Look, don't even. All right. Don't even.
Yeah.
Ratty's gonna get his comeuppance. I'll tell you that right now. It's
I mean,
either
if you
gonna
could
be
show
a
me
good
what he
death or a
looked
good
like, I could
spanking.
find out exactly where he is.
He's a
and we
fucking
could make
rat,
our way
man.
that way.
I don't know how
Yeah.
else I can
No, but-
explain that to you.
Based on what you've told me, you really love this guy. I feel like you
Really?
should know what he looks like.
Dan,
was like-
I could explain him to the finest detail. Ratty's a little chiller, but he seemed to be calling himself me, and he better be doing it for the right reasons.
No, you couldn't. I went into your head, and all you had in there was a stick figure.
What, you don't see in stick figures?
Oh god. Anyway, back to shore.
That was just the best conversation.
Yama and Karu just cutting the fucking tendril off while that's happening. Just looking back
probably
at
like-
each other like, okay.
We're like working in silence and just giving like side eye,
Like
glad we're
listening
over-
intently.
Yeah.
We're like getting the gossip, kind of like, oh my god, did you hear
Oh,
that?
we're like cutting, and we're also like half submerged in water, sitting on this giant like tentacle. But also, Yama still has. We each have tea in our hands, and we're like listening.
I like to think I have an iced tea, so I have a straw.
Okay, love it.
I think
So you can
Karu has-
sip. You can sip really loudly too, like.
Yeah. Karu's all about the like visceral sounds. Yeah.
I think a molecule goes through.
Yeah, I think yeah. I think maybe Karu made you or kind of like continue to annoy Yama into doing an iced tea version for so long that even though maybe Yama didn't like the idea, he does it for
He's
Karu.
succumbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything for his weird mate.
Yeah. Who stabbed him and
Yeah.
denies it.
He denies it.
All right, so shall we sail back to land?
Sure. You make it back to the docks, are able to dock without any trouble, and waiting on the shore, the Tezra and the Golden Guardians, her small squad kind of assembled, their blades and uniforms splattered with the gore of fish monstrosities. And she kind of they form up kind of on the docks as you arrive and disembark, and you can see that they have all been, fighting hardly as well. Sweat on their brow, pulling themselves together, patching each other up. They were certainly not idle while you were out at sea.
Oh yeah. Ho there! Like Pauly will wave from the helm. Like, look at our truck nut!
She eyes it, a bit of a scowl on her face that kind of turns into a, like, fine. And she says, I see Matthias didn't give you any help.
Nah, he was pretty bloody useless, to be honest. You should
Pretty
definitely.
good decoy.
Yeah, that's all he was bloody good for, though.
That's true. I don't think he got a shot off.
No, he was just running away.
Mm.
He wasn't even fighting.
Mm.
Lame.
Lame.
Well, we're certainly in your debt. Something like that would have trapped us here on this island to be inevitable fish food for its minions.
I mean, you are in our debt anyway.
Absolutely.
Money, please!
Does Pauly remember, and/or does anyone at the table remember what she promised and what she'd already paid?
5,544 gold. A brand new ship.
That flies.
A second truck nut. To make the set match.
One that's slightly smaller and hangs a bit above.
Yeah, a bit higher, correct. There was 300 gold.
Yeah. So she hands over a pouch with 300 gold in it, and a scroll tube, sort of a magic scroll tube. It's sort of embossed with kind of the golden filigree of her people, and she hands that over to you as well.
Hey, Cillian.
Yeah.
Our last book nerd used to handle the money. Do you want to handle the money like our last nerd did?
I'll hold my hand out.
Alright, cool. You're money man now. You can read books and do numbers, you nerd.
Cool. How much are you giving me? Because I assume Pauly's probably going to pocket some.
Nah. Hey, I'm good with ship money, thank you very much. I've always been nothing but honest when it comes to ship money. It's other people's money that I don't. Well, let's split it up. At least for now, so that way people got some spending money. So 50 gold each, and then the rest goes to the ship. So 100 for the ship, 50 gold each.
Cool.
Nice. Nice.
Sounds good?
Sounds great.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful. Look at that! We got money for our next ship.
So
I
you
can just find his ship.
This isn't our ship. We have another ship, but Ratty's running that. But that could be like a fleet thing if Ratty's still cool, you know?
I don't
We need
know.
another ship. Don't say that. Okay, you don't know Ratty like I do.
We have more than one ship. There's nothing wrong with having more than one ship.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, Cillian, you start on this thing, alright? Like, you're just a book nerd for now. You don't have to question or quote other crew members. Ratty's a cool dude. He wouldn't betray us like that.
Karu leans into Cillian. He's like, Ratty's kind of a weird dude, really.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
Yeah.
was in his head.
Yeah.
So I've made a judgment on who Ratty is.
Ratty's
based on what he
dancing
thinks
like a
about Ratty.
stick figure. You know, he's like, oh, Pauly, you are so cool and handsome.
I saw a bunch of his memories of Ratty, and Ratty seems like a bit of a dick.
It wasn't a mutiny, Pauly. It was all a big misunderstanding.
I'm gonna blow that rat into fucking stratosphere.
No, don't do that. Just don't do that.
Can
Don't
I
need to
just
do
banish
that.
him
Pauly
instead?
willingly does not listen to this part of the conversation because he's like, yeah, Ratty, we are cool.
He's just dancing with the stick figure in his head. He's just like,
All you see is like Pauly with his eyes closed, just like little shimmy, like. I feel like this is why we're mid conversation with the Golden Company too.
Yeah.
Like Pauly's completely.
Yama's still got his porcelain teacup, and he's just got his like pinky finger out, sipping his tea and watching all of this.
Karu's let the ice melt in his iced tea, and he's just drinking up that like sort of watered down last bit of dregs. No, he does it, and he makes intense eye contact with Yama when he does it. Like,
yeah, and Yama's like, "We're gonna talk about
Cillian
this later." That and the
Cillian's
stabbing we're
keeping an eye
talking
on the
about. This
buffet.
Oh yeah. Here's a scroll thing too.
What is the scroll?
You crack it open, kind of have a look at it. It is a scroll of control water.
Ooh.
Oh, now I have
That's-
another one of those.
Very useful though.
well, give
Very
it.
handy.
If you've got two, give one to someone else. Maybe Yama
No,
can have
I'm
it.
using them to speed us along in the ship.
What a waste! Use it for battle.
Use it to part the waves. Like
I mean,
party
here you go.
tricks.
You can have
Like-
one.
Control
Music
water.
mix.
Control water is very useful. A lot of ships, and this is Pauly. Like he like breaks out of his reverie from dancing with Brady and goes, "Actually, by the way, control water is very useful. Most ships have at least one magic nerd thing to who can do that spell."
I was mostly
Right.
thinking you could, like, if you were on a date and you wanted to impress the person you were on a date with, you could do it to part the soup or something like that.
Yeah, but see, like this is the thing,
When
like
you're
why
on
would
a date,
They have telekinesis.
I'd like to
but
go on
Yama
dates.
wouldn't need that. Like Yama's got that guilt, like that gilf thing going on.
yeah, I can just take off my armor and my shirt, and
It's those rippling abs with the fucking scars across them.
Not,
You know what I mean?
not everyone has that, though. Some people need to part
I
soup.
do.
some people need to part soup.
I do have that, and I can also part soup.
Okay, well,
People
now
need to
I-
part too.
why do I even bother?
I'll hand one to Karu.
Yay!
Don't worry, Karu. We'll work on
There you
your
go,
abs.
We'll find someone who doesn't want abs or soup party. I know, that's what everyone tells me.
I mean, I could summon someone if you want. I don't know how they'd be really scary, but
You know
like,
what? I don't know why this. I'm sorry I led this conversation down this path. This is Karu saying, he's like, should we maybe get back to whatever we were doing with these
Yeah,
lovely people? And he gestures to the Golden Company standing in front of
Cillian's
everybody. He's
like not even paying attention to the Golden Company. I'm just watching that blockade out at sea.
Yeah, you can definitely see they've actually stopped around that fish, the remains of that fish carcass. If you remember, there was sort of a ship of the line, a couple of brigs, and a couple of galleys. The galleys have a different kind of flag above them. The brig and the ship of the line have a big that big symbol of the Ruby Carnate, the Royal Navy of the Prince's Kingdom, or the princedom. But the Goblin galleys, war galleys, have a red fist on a yellow background that looks like this.
Cool.
How
Yeah,
long?
I think Tezra kind of sees where your eyes are at, Cillian, and looks out there as well. And she says, yeah, that's not right.
Any suggestions for high ground / meeting place?
Flash, do we just want to teleport to another city?
I think getting you off this island as quickly as possible is probably for the best.
Okay.
Now, they have no real authority here, but authority can come from diplomacy and it can come from strength.
Yeah, it comes from steel, and well, not steel in my case, but from magic. Fire, usually.
By the looks of you all, and she kind of looks back at her own crew, I assume we're not looking to take on a fleet.
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yama's
Not this
at like
time.
17 of 84 hit points.
I think
Oh, dude.
yeah. 0 spell slots too.
Yeah, let's not fight.
I think talking is probably the best option then. So
So, do we
I
meet them
can
at the
just-
tavern?
I'm sure they'll come here. But yeah, let's get to the outside of the tavern, so we at least have drinks.
Love it.
Drink sounds great.
Yeah, how are the villagers? Have we found out how they're doing?
Most of them are fine. There were a couple of casualties. We haven't had the opportunity to interrogate any of them. Beyond, we were mostly concerned with cutting down those monstrosities as they entered the village itself. Most everyone was kind of holed up inside. There was some efforts by the locals to kind of repel a few. I think there was some injuries and a couple of deaths, but nothing catastrophic, thankfully.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, has anyone like gone up and inspected the church? Because that's kind of where a lot of the pushies were congregating and stuff. Yeah.
We haven't had the opportunity. Obviously, with everything that's been going on, we're more concerned about the villagers' safety than the investigative process at this stage. I'm not sure if we'll have time. And as she says that, lines of magma start to erupt on the ground near you, drawing a large arcane circle on the ground.
Ooh.
A dome of fire erupts from that circle of intense heat and light. And so there's this dome of fire on the shore there. A little bit away from you all. It's not, you can feel the heat, but it's not burning you. And when the kind of fire burns down, there are 10 Navy Marines standing there. Wait, what have I got here? There's 8.
Does Yama hide in this time?
8 Navy Marines standing there, and 4 Hobgoblin captains standing in formation.
Great. Does Yama recognize them?
You don't recognize them personally, but you recognize the insignia. This is the army of the warlord. As this is happening, sort of in conjunction with that, you see 2 large figures alight from 2 separate ships, one from the Goblin galley, one from the ship of the line. Two large figures launch off the ships and start flying towards you. As they get closer, you see that one of them is a red dragon with a goblinoid figure riding upon its back, and the other is a bird made of flame with a human woman riding on its back, and they come to land in front of you on the docks.
I start trying to climb onto Pauly's back to be like, see, I have my own winged creature.
That's not how you treat your friends.
I mean, he has wings. They have things with wings. So maybe this is my way of showing that we are also powerful and scary.
Are you also going to set him on fire?
you could also turn into a bird and then we could ride you. So
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I like
well,
that.
I'm gonna save my last big explosion. I think that would be a cool idea, but I should save this explosion just in case.
Oh, come on.
What,
I mean, I could build us a tower.
what's the lady and what does the firebird lady and the dragon dude? What do they want? What's going on?
So the flaming bird, this sort of phoenix-esque creature, atop this creature's back is sort of this stately woman. Sort of a feminine figure beneath this armor. It's sort of like half armor, half admiralty uniform. And she takes off a helmet and kind of lets down sort of long, straight black hair. She has piercing jade-colored eyes and certainly an air of command. Her skin, despite, obviously the kind of good care and well-breeding of nobility, has definitely been sun-kissed from many years at sea. So there is kind of tanning, you can see lines, and there's a bit of weathering to it that, you can't fight with even magic, potentially. She moves with a very practiced grace that bespeaks of countless hours of training, and her uniform is sort of this navy blue and crimson, adorned with medals, and her family's and what appears to be some kind of crest, which is a soaring phoenix. And as she hops down, she says, "We've had disturbing reports of piracy and forbidden eldritch magics in the area. We are here to bring the island under control."
Hi there, by the way, Captain Pauly. We know about the eldritch magic, absolutely. See our shiny little testicle we got hanging on the back of the ship there?
She turns to Tezra, kind of ignoring you for the moment, Pauly, and says, "How now? Who are these men in your charge? Prisoners? Pirates?" And Tezra kind of stepping in front of you, Pauly, to kind of like put herself between you and this admiral says, "They are bonded merchants. We are escorting them off the island." And the admiral lady says, "Well, we can take it from here. The prince's navy has arrived."
Now, hang on a second, alright? We did a bloody lot of work there, right? Calling us just bonded merchants isn't really a fair thing. How do you respond to that?
Yep, I'm just going to show you a picture of what she looks like.
Oh, she's so cool.
Very cool.
She's definitely going to murder Pauly.
What if I murder her first?
What a way to go.
And hopping off the dragon sort of behind her and standing to her side, maybe a step or two behind, is a hobgoblin figure in sort of gold brass armor. Yama, you instantly recognize your son.
Oh!
Oh,
Shit.
yeah, I think Yama is just like not even listening to anything anybody is saying around him, and has like only eyes for his son as he like watches the way he moves, and yeah, he's totally lost to his surroundings and has no idea what's going on.
The lady in front of you says, "I am Rear Admiral Leah Sunsparrow. You are all..." And she's kind of looking directly at you now, Pauly, kind of ignoring Tezra. And her Phoenix, who is kind of standing there on the docks.
Not a red dragon, a phoenix.
The hobgoblin was on a red dragon.
As a red dragon, right, Roger.
She was on a phoenix. In fact,
don't fucking like red dragons.
This one is
They're pricks.
This one is not overweight at all. This one is well exercised.
Doesn't change the fact that they're fucking assholes and you can't trust them.
All of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's put a Karu and a Yama. And just for a bit of sense of
Hey Yama, your son's hot.
He looks terrifying.
Now, the red dragon is not sort of like an ancient red dragon. It definitely seems to be some sort of a juvenile.
Cool.
It's probably about double the size of about size of 2 horses.
Cool.
So definitely large enough to carry a grown man, but not necessarily
More than that.
Yeah.
Roger.
So she looks at you after introducing herself.
Yeah. Once again, Captain Pauly. You know.
And she says,
"Could be at your service for the right price."
"You seem heavily armed to be a merchant."
Absolutely correct. Yep. You know, the seas these days are pretty damn dangerous. Wouldn't say I'm just a merchant. I'm kind of whatever you need me to be. Mercenary for hire. This is my amazing, phenomenal crew. We got the gun show over here, and points to Karu.
Who's just kind of like,
Flex your tentacles. Do it. It doesn't even whispers loudly. We have the book nerd, but also handsome. It's kind of like just breaking stereotypes with this crew here, you know. And then we have the gilf.
Gilf.
Where's the gilf?
the entire time you're making this speech, I think like the hobgoblin commander who stepped off the dragon is just like staring daggers at you, Yama. There is definitely like an anger on that face as he looks at you, sort of like a if you had to get a feeling out of it, it's a combination of like anger and betrayal.
That's bad.
And Tezra tries to kind of interject and say, look, the Navy has no authority here. These are the prince's lands. And Sunsparrow replies,
oh yeah, well, who's the prince? Because, by the way, obviously Pauly is still oblivious as to it being his son, right? So he's just going to keep being Pauly. I apologise. Unless instructed otherwise.
No, honestly, I think Yama's like relying on it right now because he is absolutely speechless. And even when you introduced him, maybe you noticed in that moment that Yama is like legit just like staring.
Just staring, not paying attention. Right, okay. That's Yama. That's Yama. Hobgoblin, actually, like you guys. Still doesn't even think about it because he's fucking a bit special. Hobgoblin, like you guys, actually, yeah. But I mean, anyway, noticeable? Part of our ship now, could be. I don't want to assume, like, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those Aarakocrans. I don't like to think that all, bipedal, land-based life forms look alike, but, fucking shit, the two of them there, they look fucking identical.
Cillian is going to take this opportunity to take a few steps away from Pauly.
I was going to ask, is this like noticeable, the look that the Hobgoblin is giving to Yama? Like, to someone with a very low passive perception, can I still notice this?
Yeah, I think so. I think he is not hiding it at all.
Pauly's choosing to ignore it.
Yeah, I got that.
I also would like to add that I'm sizing these two up for the passive investigation.
I just want to say that
I'd say Yama and his son look very similar appearance-wise. And I think you guys would know Yama well enough to know that something is wrong. But he did also mention that it's possible that his son was on that ship.
Yeah, actually. Pauly's going to be like, yeah, actually, by the way, Yama's son might be on here too. Yeah.
Captain. Captain.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, guns.
Can you excuse us for a sec, Captain? Come over here.
1 second, madam. My crew needs to discuss something with me.
I think at this time,
walk over to them.
Yeah, at this time, Karu has actually sort of stepped a little bit in front of Yama, like sort of like that half step in front, like to sort of. I think he's like, okay, this guy's looking at me.
Disconnected the eye line.
Yeah, like maybe if I get in the way, and then like when
I'm
Pauly
also
comes
in the way as well.
Yeah, when Pauly comes over, he's just like, Captain, I think, I don't know, but that hobgoblin doesn't seem to like Yama, so like maybe we shouldn't draw attention to Yama, like let's just like talk to the lady.
Yeah, that's definitely my son.
Oh,
and
shit. Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay, wait, no. You got a choice right now. I'm going to yell that out. One of you either needs to put your hand over my mouth, or I'm going to be like, oh my god! You know what I mean?
It's a tentacle.
I'm not very dexterous.
There's a tentacle coming for your mouth to slap you sharp.
Perfect.
And we're already back to tentacles and orifices.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being shut. That's totally fine.
It's not tats and trafts anymore, okay, DB?
I'm going to walk over to these two and just extend a hand. And go to shake their hands.
I can't meet your son right now?
I think he's definitely feeling the exact way that I expected him to feel. And I'd love to talk to him in private.
Then done. I'll sort that out. All right, I'll get the admiral by herself. All right, I'll put on some of my Pauly charm.
So Cillian's walked up to her, and she kind of looks you up and down, somewhat haughtily, Cillian, and says, Who do you take orders from, Vagabond?
I wouldn't call me a vagabond. I'm more of a learned man. At times. But I don't really take orders. I'm currently just doing a favor for a friend.
Right. And this is your ship?
No. That's the stupid bird over there that wouldn't shut up. That's his.
All right, Sorn, calm down.
I'm trying to find something that was on. They had another ship that was stolen, and something on there
Stolen
is...
ship, you say?
This was nowhere near here.
Well, I'm sure the fine people of Meribottom wouldn't mind if we take vagabonds and pirates into custody.
This isn't a stolen ship.
Who knows what they're trying to do here in a stolen ship?
This one's not stolen.
Do
I
you
said this is his ship.
and she looks at you, Pauly, and says, and I assume you have a deed of ownership?
We're borrowing it from the Emerald Trading Company to do a trade for this festival that was supposed to be here, and then we stopped the horrible cult that was here. So I think you kind of got to give us a bit more respect than that. And Pauly's gonna, like, you know, with that respect, he's gonna sashay a bit and try and panache her.
Okay.
Don't you also have a deed of loan?
Do you have any paperwork? Just like out of character, do you have any paperwork?
I don't fucking read.
I'm pretty sure we were given paperwork, or they were given paperwork when the
That's one
when
thing
the Emerald
Pauly
Trading
doesn't do,
Company
I'm
were
sorry.
like, we will take ownership of your store if you don't return our ship. They gave us a contract for it.
That's incredibly accurate. However, do you think that any of us maybe kept an eye on said paperwork or put it in a safe space?
I would have.
Was Cillian there with us in that
Was he
situation?
with us?
Cillian met
I
them
got
here
on
on
the
this
ship.
island.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
so
yeah.
that's what
So
that's where
no.
I was going. Is that the three people that would have?
It'll be in my quarters. There's a lot of paperwork there.
Yeah, in the corner, crumpled up in a bin, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use for cloaca wiping if necessary.
little bit
The
waterlogged.
Admiral kind of
Right.
says, and is saying kind of out loud to the audience that she has, much like I am, look at them, this rabble, a parrot, a devil, a mutant, and she kind of glances back at the hobgoblin at her side, and then to Yama, and a deserter. What manner of group is this? What kind of wastrels
Hey now.
are we letting
Hey,
into the prince's lands? I feel this island is being poorly administered if rabble such as this are able to terrorize towns and good, law-abiding merchant folk.
I don't think that you can speak to us that way when we've just done your job for you by ridding this town of this forbidden, dark, eldritch hold that
Yeah,
was
Yama.
looming over it.
You were
How
real good.
dare you?
Get him, Grandpa.
As you say that, like, Tezra's like trying to interject and being like, look, they're in my custody, I'm escorting them off the island, they're my problem, don't worry about it, like, whatever you think this is happening, it isn't, like, it's all good. And she, just kind of ignoring Tezra again, turns back and says, Lord Tempest, what should we do with pirates?
Can I try panache still? Is it okay?
Oh, yeah.
I want to do this before we go any further,
Sure.
right? Because I want to squash this. I don't want to go further than this. And
Yeah,
I mean, Pauly's going to otherwise going to be a shit talker the whole time.
Yeah, if this escalates, then I have something to.
Okay, persuasion check by a creature's insight check, which you're probably good at, but all right.
I have something to do too, but I need a
Oh,
bonus.
14. It doesn't really matter. It's not like they know I was doing it, but yeah, 14. So she didn't start past a 14.
Man, you're rolling
14.
shit tonight.
Meets
Makes
me.
Do
it
you get
big.
anything from being next to Yama?
No, that's for saving throws.
Damn it.
Right. And basically, the boy's like, hey now, come on, like shimmying a bit. It's like, look, were you just trying to help out?
Specifically, Panache is trying to get her attention on you, correct?
That's correct. And if, 1 second, on a success, a hostile creature has disadvantage on attack rolls. If they're not hostile,
She's not
they're
currently
charmed.
hostile, but
Yeah, they're charmed by me.
yeah.
Essentially, that's what I was going for.
Ah, okay. Well,
Trying to
you
get them
definitely
to
have
charm.
her full attention, and she'll sort of say, "Captain, is it?
Yes, Captain Pauly.
Captain of
Well, I mean, look, we're in between ships right now. We're borrowing a ship from the Emerald Trading Company. Like, look, if you know a good ship, like a shipwright who's looking to fucking sell something, we'd be looking to buy something nice. But more what I'm saying here is, like, we only came in here for the Emerald Trading Company. If you have a problem with us trading here, then you probably have a problem with the Emerald Trading Company.
And you're here
At their behest, yes.
At their behest?
Yes, to trade for this festival that it was supposed to be on.
Private contractor?
Yes. Privateer, you might say.
There's a sort of a slight smile at that.
Yeah, and Pauly's got like a shit-eating grin on.
And you mentioned you were here to battle eldritch beings yourself. What brings a privateer to the coast of Maribottom?
That was really just circumstance, to be honest. You know what I mean? But we can't just let an eldritch horror attack a beautiful, peaceful town in the prince's land like that, and let it just destroy such vast beauty and bounty. To be honest, if you ask me honestly, after helping the prince at such a time, in a time of such danger, and preventing that from getting any worse, as you floated by, the creature we destroyed in our sloop alone was massive and could have devoured this whole town if given the time.
We saved numerous townsfolk who would have otherwise drowned and been fed to that horror.
Vassals of the prince.
So you would be comfortable then submitting to our interrogation to find out the truth of what happened here?
I look to Yama, just quick little side glance. I'm like knowingly looking like, is that a good idea? not saying that out, but
Yeah.
eyeing it.
I think Yama has a very similar look on his face because he's like, does this mean I would get like a one-on-one?
Okay, how about this? You and I will have a conversation, Admiral to Captain, and our crew can discuss some matters of personal natures.
I feel like that doesn't sound like a fantastic idea.
Can I try and persuade the Admiral to give some one-on-one time between the two of us?
I think she's kind of open to it in terms of you say like, oh, let's discuss this one-on-one. I mean, you've dealt with a vice admiral before, from the.
I know how to schmooze.
You can definitely see that like Tezra's got a very worried look on her face, based on that. What does everyone else's face in the crew kind of look like? That Pauly is inviting this rear admiral into ostensibly a tavern to have a drink and a one-on-one conversation.
Cillian isn't excited about it. Cillian, being the person who has done a lot of traveling and dealt with these people a lot in the time that he's been in Aurora, and knowing a little bit about them, is very worried for how close to death we are all going to come based off Pauly saying one thing wrong.
Yeah,
Karu has full confidence. Sorry.
Luckily. Yeah.
No, I think Yama also has full confidence, and maybe the tavern is the best setting rather than, a solo room.
See, now, just as a reflection as we're all speaking between each other, between our minds.
You don't have that ability anymore. This is more just table talk.
Yeah, correct. One thing Pauly's really good at is not just saying one bad thing, it's many. So those many things could turn into a good situation.
Cillian's going to make his way behind the tavern and start drawing a teleportation circle so that he can leave.
Very good.
You're on your own, bud.
Cool.
No,
all right. Well, yeah, anyway, let's first drinks on me, and then the rest are on you. How's that sound?
She'll sort of turn to the soldiers. Actually, no, she'll turn to Lord Tempest, as she calls him. and kind of give a nod, and he'll turn to the troops and he'll yell like, "Fan out, take control of the town. All residents must have identification checked and location corroborated. I want a full report within the hour." And the a small guard kind of stay there, and a number of them kind of walk, sort of march off in pairs throughout the town. Obviously, this, and you would all know that this is obviously a small portion of the force that can be leveled from a galley and a ship of the line that is waiting just off the coast. And in fact, you can see a couple of like longboats in the water slowly making their way towards the shore. But it looks like they had some kind of really cool fire teleportation magic they wanted to show off, so...
That's fair.
Yeah, that's dope. So
I
dope.
have that too.
I mean, we have truck nuts, they have fire teleportation. I get it.
Yeah.
We also have fire teleportation.
Yeah, well, you just need to escape, and you're being really mean to me, okay?
I'm gonna go talk to the dragon.
Meanwhile, the rear admiral will sort of follow you, Pauly, into the tavern, and her phoenix will kind of do its two-legged walk like along behind her, and it stays outside, but you can see it's like peeking its head around through the door to look inside and watch both of you.
Pauly, like as we get in, it's like, so, I mean, sadly the tavern owner was murdered last night by getting drowned by these fish creatures. But I did leave a sizable, like bar tab open. I paid it off already. I paid it in advance. So I just hops over the bar. I was like, what do you want?
I also left 20 gold there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, we left money. We left good money.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much like entire stock. 20 gold is a heap of money for a regular tavern.
I was trying to make sure that the next time we come back, the tavern's like well and truly upgraded. It has like a mezzanine level, and
yeah, I don't think
like
so. Maybe after a giant fish monstrosity.
Yeah,
attack.
well, I didn't know the fish monstrosity was going to come. Okay, I left the money before I went to bed, and then I woke up and had to kill a giant fish. Maybe I should take my gold back.
So we cut. The admiral and Pauly are in there. The last scene. Sort of moment we see, I guess, is Pauly, the kind of vaulted over the bar, popped back up, and like looking at the stuff on the highest shelf. It's okay, like it's nothing special.
Yeah.
And then perhaps we cut outside back to the tension of, Yama and the self-styled Lord Tempest. Meanwhile, Karu kind of standing there, feeling like that you could cut the tension with a knife or a +1 cutlass, and we see like just in the background, if we framed the scene correctly, Cillian is like drawing on the side of the inn wall, starting to draw an arcane circle.
No, I'm trying to talk to the dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and speak to the dragon.
All right. Well, we'll do Yama and Karu and Tempest first, and then we'll see what the dragon's feeling like.
Okay, well, maybe Yama just moves towards him. He's noticeably hobbling, but he's really trying to hide it from his son. But
his back is to you currently. Like he's giving orders to his troops. They're coming and going. Like he's almost like put you out of his mind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as he like humbly approaches and he is clanking, he's not trying to sneak, but he's being like, maybe this is the smallest and humblest you guys have seen Yama. He feels like, it seems really like cowed before you guys, and he maybe behind, once he gets behind his back, he's like, Tempura, my son. It's hard to be serious with that name, but maybe it's like Lord Tempest. Could we perhaps speak?
And so he's in the middle of giving an order to a troop, and the troop is like stopped and is like, I don't want to get involved in this, because he can see perhaps what you can't. You know, there's obviously some face on your son's face has changed in such a way that has scared his own troop, or scared one of his own people, and he whirls around on you. And I assume he's still maybe a little bit shorter than you. I don't know how young. I don't know if we established, how old Yama was when he had this son, but he's a young man now, certainly. And as you see that he is filled out into a warrior, perhaps much like you were, and much to your disappointment, perhaps. Tavern call? Okay. Thanks, Maddie. And he's just kind of looking at you and says, "What is it, traitor?" Looking to re-enlist just so you can abandon us again?
No, son. I come only to beg your forgiveness. My past lies heavy on my shoulders. I did not mean to desert you, only our armies, our way of life. I have chosen now a path of redemption, breaking free from the chains of my brother, your uncle. And here you see, standing before you, a new man, a man on the path of redemption. My friends, they lead me on this path, and I am better for it. And I wish you would join me.
Oh yes, I got your letter. You're off making comrades, having adventures in the Feywild, fighting hags and dream demons or whatever else. You've put a life of honor, camaraderie, and family behind you, only to pick up a new one and start adventures anew. You weren't strong enough to handle this life.
You know that I was strong enough. I led those armies. All the martial prowess is what I've taught you. Your knowledge and skill with the sword is what I've taught you. Your ambitions, your darkness, this darkness in your eyes is all my brother. It is not you. I implore you, my son. Look beyond the mistakes of your father. See the man standing before you now. I stand taller. I bleed brighter. It is for a better way, a better path that I wield my sword now. I beg of you to see the hurt you're bringing to others, to see the families you're tearing apart with this way of life. There are better ways to live.
I'm glad that you have found your freedom, but our people still need a leader. Our people need to be free, and that is what we are doing. We are leading them east. We have made allies. We have grown stronger. We will even expand to these islands. No more are we going to be relegated to the western fronts, the steppe, the rocky, tough terrain of our history. Bountiful, beautiful lands are out before us. And to hold them, we need real strength. Strength that you have given up on. Strength of resolve.
And you think allying with the empty volcano throne is going to help you? You think these people are truly on your side? They fight for their own wealth, their own power. You think once they've used you up, like spat you out, that you'll have any place amongst them? Open your eyes, my son. I understand that your forgiveness cannot be immediate, but give me the chance to prove myself that my intentions are genuine, our people can lead a different, a better life. We have enough room in the steppe. We have enough, like, place to expand, to farm in the western, like, deserts. We do not need more.
I always thought that we would one day sit or stand on a farm of our own, father and son, hammering our swords into scythes, hammering our axes into plows, and building a better life. But that is not what will make our people what they need to be. Perhaps in a future generation, we can all become as soft as you and grow old, drinking tea, letting our bellies grow fat with smoked meats and too many floury vegetables. But right now, we have to fight for every inch we can take. And if we make deals with this, as you say, empty volcano throne, so what? They are a people divided. They are no match for us if they were to betray us. They know this. They know our strength. We will use them to take what we need, and if they betray us, they will be crushed. You taught us that.
You're right. I taught you that. Your upbringing was harsh and militant, and I was much sterner and distant from you than I should have been. And I've learnt and changed after watching brother upon friend, family, loved one die in vain, searching to expand, pillage, take over any further more villages than taking always more than what we needed. And I refuse to take that path anymore. And I wish that you would too.
My uncle has united goblin kind for the first time. No longer are we fighting amongst ourselves for scraps. We are united. We are the five fingers of the Red Hand. All 5 clans come together for one purpose: goblin glory. And if you want to sit in your tea house and think pacifist thoughts, that's great. But you better do it out of our way.
I refuse to move. Me and my comrades will ever be in your vision. I will be a thorn in your side. There is no way, no chance in hell that I will let my brother rape and pillage these verdant lands. No further will he move. This is it for you. This is it for us. I wish that you would see more. I've wandered through these realms, I've faced my demons, and I've found this path of light with my friends. And here we're standing, blocking your path. I have friends too.
I think that was beautiful, Cait, by the way.
Thank you.
Fucking awesome.
Your son is angry at you. Dan is very proud of you.
Josh says in the chat that I should arm wrestle him, and I think that's the only way we can move forward.
Yeah. Interesting idea.
Yeah, we have the golden armies at our back. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So he's going to then take off his gauntlet, like one of his gauntlets that he has. There's sort of like riding gauntlets for riding the dragon. And sort of hold it up to you, drop it on the ground, and say, "You have forgotten the face of your father. I wish I could forget mine."
Oh shit! And Yama is gonna pick up the glove. He's gonna dust it off. He's gonna put his hand on the katana at his side, and he's gonna say, "I know who my father was. I know who you are, and I am disappointed with what I see."
And so he stands there kind of staring at you for a moment, that kind of angry look. You can definitely, I think no insight required, like you can see you've definitely gotten under his skin. Especially perhaps because he was expecting you, as perhaps traditional goblin culture, to challenge him to a duel, like at that. You know, slap him with the glove kind of thing. And there you stand, immovable as ever, you know, taking the pacifist route, and you get the sense that, like, he can't act on you first, right? Like,
Yeah.
At least not in this place, not in this company.
Yeah, okay. Well, Yama hands the glove back to him. And whether
I mean, on a meta level, you can keep it if you want.
Can I do like a detect magic? I don't have that skill.
You don't think it's magical,
That's
but if
so
you
cool. Keep the glove. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll keep it as like a Yama gets a bit sentimental, and he's like, he doesn't have any keepsakes maybe of his son, and he tucks it into his pocket. He takes like a last like head to toe look at his son, and I think he goes to turn back to his friends, and kind of walks away, and what he doesn't see is that there's a little tear going down his face.
I think he turns his back on you as well at that, like when you fail to like challenge him to a duel as he was perhaps hoping, and you kind of don't do that, and you again take the pacifist route, but it's sort of like a very thoughtful, kind way, like, you know, instead of using the glove in anger, you take it in compassion and kind of turn and walk away, after, you know, measuring up the man he's become. You see him turn, but his stance is definitely like, you know, somewhat hunched, like trying to control some kind of rage, or you definitely think like if he's imagined that in his head many times, it did not go how he was expecting.
Yeah, I think it's been like, I keep trying to kind of place the timeline in my head. I think it's been like maybe 5-10 years since Yama's left. And probably Yama was a very different, much quicker to anger man than he is now. So I can 100% imagine that conversation went completely different. Yeah.
Very cool.
Am I able to say that I didn't want to interrupt any of that moment because it's kind of amazing, but Karu was like basically behind Yama, like kind of not gauging what was going to happen. So he was, and also just being this like presence of like, so when Yama's like, I have like friends, he's like, yeah, that's right. Like, so when
tentacles
like
rising.
yeah, just being an eldritch monster in the background. But when like that happens and like Yama turns and obviously there's like the tear and like sees the sun, I think Karu waits until like Yama has walked away, and he just lightly slaps like the back of the dude's neck to turn him around to get his attention. He just goes, "Oi," like that.
Yeah. He
he
spins
doesn't-
around like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the one you want, but just wanted to give my unwanted advice. Actually, no, I just wanted to tell you you're a fucking idiot. All that talk, all that gassing yourself up, man, didn't work, did it?
Dad loves
You-
you, and then just walk away.
Yeah, it's just like didn't work, did it? Your dad still loves you despite the fact that you're an absolute asshole. You know? Why are you gonna throw that away for a country? Fucking stupid. And then he just like walks away.
Yeah, I think he is shocked at that.
love
Like,
it.
at first, like, first impression, he doesn't even know what you are, right? Like, he's just like,
I think Karu sensed that he's like unsettled because he, as you say, he didn't get the thing he wanted. So he's just kind of playing into that, and like, I'm going to continue to make you feel uncomfortable because that's what my captain would do. If my captain was here, my captain would be like,
Pauly,
in your face.
Pauly straight up, like, you know, like, has his feelings like, yeah, go
Yeah.
Karu.
Talking well.
Doesn't know what's happening, but he's like, yes.
Yeah, and like, nothing of value to add. Just like, you're an idiot,
Mhm.
dumb.
That's-
You're
That's
dumb,
the
and
best
it just
value.
walks away.
That's
Yeah.
the best value. When it's illogical. It's always better that way.
Yeah, and then like sort of like leaves and like big strides to get to Yama and just like slings like a tentacle on like Yama's shoulder and is like, I know that was probably really hard, but that was really fucking cool. Like, you're dope as shit. Can you be my dad? I don't have a dad. I kind of already call you my dad. I'm sorry if that was wrong of me.
Thanks, Karu. I honestly, I already noticed, and yes, please continue.
Yay!
Just,
Should be called the daddy issue pirates.
yes.
A little
That's
bit
the
like
How about
new
you,
boat
Cillian? You got
name.
some? You got some daddy issues? You want some?
Because baby, I'll be your daddy.
Fuck.
And all Yama says is, just please stop letting your ice melt into your tea. Thank you.
But I like,
And he wipes the tear and he's like, yep.
for you, I will do such a thing.
Oh.
But only for you.
As Karu picks up some seawater, pours it into his tea.
Yeah, like slyly, like with the tentacles to the side, like, yeah, never again.
Need more salt.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, so good.
Now he's been waiting patiently. We'll sidle over to Cillian. As this is all kind of happening at the same time, I imagine. So people are all very distracted. Yama and Lord Tempest, as he self-styles himself. But poor little Tempe couldn't stand up to his father very well.
Tempe had a temper tantrum.
Exactly.
Tempe tantrum.
Yes.
Tippy.
That's so good. That would infuriate him. You're sidling up to the dragon.
Yeah. Just gonna walk over and be like, "How you going?" In Draconic.
Ah. So, its big eye kind of blinks and it kind of turns its head to look at you. Do dragons have front-facing eyes like predators? Surely.
Yeah, dragons are
Yes.
predators. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's able to turn its head then and kind of look at you with both its eyes, perhaps even turning its head a little bit slightly. They're sort of half side, half front. And responds to you in sort of its own guttural draconic. And it'll say, a child of the hells.
Yes, I am. I quite like fire. So that's why I came to speak to you, you know? You red dragon, like fire too.
Indeed.
So, what's the deal? What's going on? Like, what's up with these guys? What's his deal?
There is It's accurate that you say deal, for there has been one struck.
Brooke, you care to elaborate on that?
My and my siblings' service is for the goblins, and we will help them with their conquest. You may fare better than others, as perhaps you don't burn so well.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, wow. So what do the goblins hold over you? Make a deal with them.
It is a mutual benefit, but we are bound to it.
Benefit. So I'm guessing you guys want to come east too and have some spot here, because I don't think in the whole time I've been here, I don't think I've seen another dragon, let alone dragon kin of any kind.
These islands are excellent feeding grounds. They have turtle dragons, if you can call them such.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
But we have heard of a great empty volcano throne. A brilliant nesting place.
I'm going to make a history check real quick, because
Sure.
Isn't the volcano throne where the prince is meant to be? Natural 20, 29.
Yeah, you know that the... it's always spoken about that the prince is on, seated upon the volcano throne. But it comes to mind that you have been hearing a lot of rumors in your travels specifically that no one's seen the prince in some time.
The volcano throne, you say? Thought that the woman with your friend over there, does she serve the prince? Doesn't he see to the throne there? I mean, if you guys are going to take it, by all means. Like, I have no affiliation with either of these groups. Just those guys over there and that small pocket of people with the blonde woman over there. They're cool.
Oh, I see a fellow pragmatist. If you were to say, oh, I serve the bird captain, but we both know that self-interest wins out.
It's not really self-interest. It's more, well, I suppose it is self-interest. I'm just here for knowledge.
But if
I would like to say that they are my friends, though.
If he were to perish, would you prop up his corpse at the prow of the ship, make it dance, make everyone think, ooh, the captain's still here, he's giving orders, ignore the voice that sounds like a devil?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, dragon friend. So why are the goblins helping these humans? If you're helping the goblins, but you want the throne, the goblins want land, so why help the humans at all?
Have you seen the size of their ships? An
Yes,
excellent
but you are...
cat's paw.
Yeah, but you are dragons.
Indeed.
What is a ship to a dragon?
Why do something yourself when you have
what?
many people to exert that for you?
You are
And when
absolutely
people get
right.
naturally upset and they come with the pitchforks and the torches, do you want them saying, kill the dragon? No. You want them revolting upon their captors.
True. Very true. Do you, I hate to ask, but are you able
Child
to...
of the devils should know this. Perhaps your
Oh.
education was lacking.
No, I know exactly where you're going with this. I get that. I hate to ask, but are you able to assume a more eye-level form?
I can. I choose not to.
That's fair. I can choose forms too, but I feel like we could go and talk more privately. I suppose no one knows what we're saying. I don't think. Do you know of anyone in this group that can understand what we are saying?
The goblins do not learn our language unless someone else here knows it. The admiral I am wary of. She knows much that she doesn't give away.
She's away with the bird captain, so that's okay.
I assume Karu and Yama don't speak Draconic.
Mm-mm.
Well,
We're low intelligence characters.
what might I call you?
My name is Nowana Shaud.
Anything shout is bad if you ask me.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make something happen.
I think
here.
canonically in my head, almost every dragon has Shaud.
Yeah.
Venom Shaud, Venom Shaud.
They're all chads of some
that's
They're all,
kind.
CH.
they're all
AUD,
chads.
isn't
They're
it?
absolutely all chads.
No one a shard. Okay, all right, no one a shard. Well, I am Cillian.
A pleasure.
Well, very interesting. I don't know how this is going to go here. This
Well,
human.
You'd better
Rear
hope you're
Admiral.
on the right side.
Well, I mean, I'm on the side that wins, and I will bring my friends with me.
Sure.
So, I'm assuming you're also on the side that wins?
Always.
How about we strike an accord of winning?
Sounds perfect. Join the fleet.
I don't think we'd be welcomed upon the fleet. What's going on over there? I think there'd be two parties that are very opposed to serving together at this time.
Well, you are between a brimstone and a hard place, dear little devil, because my place is with this fleet.
Well, no matter what happens, I like to think we've had quite a wonderful conversation here.
Yes.
Might I call on you?
I will absolutely make your death quick if I am ordered to do so.
And if I am ordered to do so, I will absolutely try to be kind to you too. And I sort of wink at the dragon.
So cute.
But in future, once this is all said and done, I may call upon you with an offer. Because I am on the side that wins. It's what I do. Seen many a thing, fought many a creature. I've been to many places. I know a lot, and I can gather more information. And at the end of the day, information is king.
So you could be a valuable tool, is what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't say
Perhaps.
a tool, more of an ally.
Well, it's it is cute that you find yourself equal to dragonkind. Perhaps we could let you play in our circles a little, see if you survive. Just don't let your devil forefathers come crying to Tiamat when they find out that you weren't strong enough to cut it.
I've been through a lot. You'd be surprised. But If I did ask, you did know. What would be a good way to deal with this woman with the phoenix if it came to it? Just hypothetically.
Oh. Something I certainly have been considering. The way I see it, you would have two options. One would be some kind of island-destroying mega weapon. You would have to probably deploy it while she was asleep, though, and hope that you were far enough away that she couldn't kill you in revenge.
And the other?
How are you at chronomancy?
You know, I did see a book on that a while ago.
Maybe you could go back in time and stop yourself from having such a silly idea.
I mean, maybe I could go back in time and murder her as a baby.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, what a line.
Could also do that.
You certainly could. She is from the House of the Phoenix, so you'd better be sure it sticks.
I could do something. I'm sure I could pull something out of the... Oh, wait. I was going to say pull something out of my sleeves, but I don't seem to have any. Anyway.
Two guns.
Yeah, sure.
Very good.
Oh, well, anyway. I suppose that's all for now, but maybe I'll see you at the Ruby Throne when the Volcano Throne, I should say.
I look forward to your tribute.
When the time comes, when you come to ask me for somewhere to live, and I wink and just walk away.
Very good.
I had to get the last step. I had to get that last leg in, just
Of
to be
course.
like, "Gee, dragon." And I'm gonna be like, the dragon wants to murder the human woman.
Are you saying that to
Or
Karu
at least-
or Yama?
Both of them. At least
Weird.
they let on that they kind of thought about it. So it's like, I feel like we have an angle now.
Wait, what? Why?
Because I asked how I could kill her.
I feel like just dragons just want to kill everything except
Yeah, I know.
themselves. Yeah.
But like, we now kind of have an angle.
Is the angle that we have the dragon potentially?
No.
Oh.
The dragon sees us all as toys.
Well, did the dragon give you all her vulnerabilities and weaknesses?
She said if we needed to kill her, we should blow up the island and be far enough away that she doesn't get us, or go back in time and never have a conversation with her.
Neither of
Those
those
all
seem
sound
realistic.
impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not easy. Like if I could go back in time, I'd just go back and I'd blow up her house. But like, you know, yeah, I don't. Dragons
Create
aren't
an
scared of
elaborate
much.
plan so that her parents don't meet.
Yeah, no, they're really, really like in that line of succession bullshit. Like I feel like it was arranged. We'd have to kill one of them. There's a lot of things going on, but dragons aren't afraid of much, and this dragon's kind of afraid of her. So I'm kind of scared for our bird captain idiot friend inside.
I think that's a perfect time to cut back to Pauly.
Yeah.
Pauly's doing bar flare, you know what I mean? Like trying to show off, like he's like, woo! And almost misses one. A bit like, you know, pretend misses one and catches it at the last second and is like...
Accidentally throws one at her head like you've done to me on multiple occasions.
Don't know what you're talking
You or
about, mate.
Son?
Don't know what
No,
you're talking about. And catches it and goes, nice vintage. And I'll pour 2 glasses.
I think the rear admiral is walking to the room. She's going to kind of look around at the disarray of this tavern. You know, merchants and mercenaries were kind of camped out here for a couple of days, making themselves at home. she'll walk over and sort of pick up a chair that's fallen over, sit it upright, and kind of just sit down, very sort of sitting proper at the table. You can see she's got sort of a long sword on her hip, like a saber, and sort of a very long, thin one, almost katana-esque, but maybe not quite as big as Yama's. And she's just kind of watching the show as perhaps, there's a bit of conversation that's been going on. She says, so, who do you take orders from?
What? Kind of the whole fun part about doing this. Every now and then we'll take orders for money. But, there's a freedom to the seas. That's why we came this way. Came to the Prince's Land, We're just here to have a bit of fun, help how we can. We kind of struggle with leaving things undone, So if we see something that needs to be fixed, we'll help fix it.
I see. So you are not from the islands?
No. I mean, I may have sailed through here when I was younger, but I don't really remember much from back then. And we charted a bit of different seas, if you catch what I'm meaning.
So not rabble, not a vagabond.
No.
What are your views on piracy?
Look, my views on piracy can be very skewed dependent on who and what it is for. I prefer the term privateer.
So your skill and your ship and your crew are negotiably for sale?
To the right buyer for the right cause? Absolutely.
What better cause could there be but order and law?
I can think of a few, but I mean... look, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to yuck your yum, right? As long as you're not yucking my yum. That's the beauty of freedom of the seas, But, look, order can be a thing that I'm a bit funny about sometimes, but doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and say you shouldn't be that way. And, that's how I see the world. And if you need help with something, we can have a conversation, I like gold in my pocket, and I like your gold. Your gold's good enough to be in my pocket.
The Guardians seem quite protective of you. Have you worked with them before?
Sorry, can you give me a reminder who the Guardians are? I apologize.
The Golden Guardians. So Tezra, who's outside, I think previously was the priest you had in the party.
Yeah, look, I think it's just that we've had some good interactions with them, you know what I mean? Like, when everything was going to crap in this town, we just stepped up and did what was right. And I think that's kind of their whole thing, We didn't really ask for much. Didn't even ask for money up front. That's a bold...
Oh, wait. You didn't ask for money, they offered it. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, I genuinely, I didn't ask for money this time. That's why I remembered it.
Yeah. She says, well, piracy has been a stain on these islands for some time, and you may have heard the rumors that there has been a flood of pirates since we opened up the borders and let more trade in. The more wealth we have accrued and we have been sharing with the world has led to undesirables coming from from the seas.
My, what a pretty stain it can be sometimes, though, right? Look, I agree. There shouldn't be as many pirates. There should just be a couple. You know what I mean? Running in the right circles, looking after the right people. I understand it may not be a new thing here, seeing as you've just opened up the borders. But yes, in the West, we do like to do this thing called... Oh, the East, sorry. The East, we like to do this thing called privateering, where you have certain people who run under flags and attack people for other flags when they're being bad. And
this
if you ever...
is a topic that I have spoken to the Admiralty about. in the short term, it could be quite lucrative for the right negotiable captain. As long as that captain was also under the understanding that in the long term, when the war is over, privateers will be excess to requirement and will be encouraged to move on.
But after great deeds of service to the prince, we have to admit that a small fortune may be made, an island may be required, and they may become lords of their own little kingdoms. By the way, in Pauly's own mind, and just for retrospect, this is just him absolutely assuaging, trying to get more fucking money out of her, and then the right to pirate for free. Does not have any plans to ever follow any control ever.
Yeah. No, I figured, yeah. But sort of like make deals now, cash those checks later, whatever. Yeah.
Correct!
Yeah.
Consequences, what are they?
Entering into a deal with someone on a borrowed ship with a small crew may not be a worthwhile investment, especially if word were to get back of a potential friendship, as she kind of like sips the drink you hand her.
Pauly sips as well.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a schlop, like a...
Yeah.
You know?
Any collaboration of this sort could be very detrimental to the eyes of the princedom who is looking for certainty, looking for stability, and are afraid of rabble and pirates at every turn.
If you ask me, honestly, if you want a way to curtail the pirate threat, the only thing that pirates are afraid of is definitely not princes or kingdoms, because that is the thing they fight. What they need is a bigger pirate than them.
Speaking of big pirates,
If I can mention Captain Pauly, they're the same name as me. You're going.
it has come to our attention that some giant kin have made their home on one of the islands, claiming it to be independent from the princedom, claimed as a pirate haven. Perhaps a friend of the crown, a friend of the noble houses, would want to prove their discretion, prove their worth in the new world we are building, by taking care of these vagabonds and lawbreakers, and show that they understand, well, show that they can imbue fear into these lesser pirates of any size.
Pauly gets pretty serious at the giant kin mention, and goes, "Do you know who this pirate captain's name is?"
They like to call themselves all sorts of colourful monikers. To us, they're criminals.
Surely these criminals must have a certain name they go by, otherwise how can the people and the rabble, as you call them, be afraid of them?
I'm sure they do, amongst themselves. All sorts of colourful names or whatever. To us, they are just pending a noose. But if someone were to take care of this and make it so that the illustrious prince's navy does not need to send many ships to deal with a threat when a concerned citizen, a private citizen of the islands, wants to handle it themselves, prove that this will not be tolerated.
I think we can help with that. But I will need 2 things from the princedom in exchange as a negotiation point to make this happen.
And what do you ask for?
I need to know where the ship of the captain by the same name as me is. Because right now, they're on my ship. And I need my ship back. If I'm to help you with these giants.
Captain who's had his ship stolen by pirates. You're not instilling a lot of confidence in the Admiralty.
We went to the Feywild, we killed some hags, it was a whole thing, right? We got a wish from Tasha, it was wild. You know, time passed.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I need, and this one's a bit bigger, to really instill or get that gained fear. Now, I understand you may want us to be private citizens, so that way it sounds really good. But how about you let us ransack a few of your ships? So that way we can show infamy and fame against these other pirates. Now, we can recompense and sort something out, or you can say, you can write it off as a loss comparative to the losses of this. But to be able to gain access to a pirate cove island like that, after being out of service for a few months, if not, I don't know how long, to be honest. We need infamy. So we could do this.
Military vessels, though, are surely not worth the time, effort, and danger for a canny sailor such as yourself. Surely fat, plump merchant vessels, unguarded civilian vessels are prime
better fed?
targets.
I completely agree. You give me 1 or 2 of those, it's great.
We can offer up. We can perhaps misplace some shipping logs of the Emerald Trading Company. Their routes, their cargo. Of course, a concerned citizen would want to see if anything could be recovered from damaged ships, that it would go where it is required. That it would be returned to those trying to keep peace, keep order, so that it may be distributed correctly. I'm sure some of it may go missing in the process. The seas are deep. But we would want to see a friend who would be nearby, perhaps, when that ship ran aground, or
and save the crew. Yeah, you know what? I think you're correct. I think that's a fair and amenable thing. We can definitely have this conversation further, but the first thing I will need is your vast network and array of ships across this beautiful land that you claim as yours, to find out where that ship is under the name of Captain Pauly. The name of the ship is the La Floridita.
The La Floridita?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the La Floridita. Apologies. Yeah, La Floridita. The name of the ship is La Floridita. If you can please tell me where that is, then I can do everything of this.
The notorious Captain Pauly.
Yeah, that Captain Pauly.
Very well. Where do you berth your borrowed ship?
Back where we got it.
Yeah. Well, we shall send an intermediary with information on this notorious criminal aboard La Floridita. And perhaps some maps for where these fire giants have made their home.
Should have asked what kind of giants they are. Okay. No, we can definitely take out some fire giants. Any kind of giants. If you just want giants removed in general, just ask. More than happy to help.
She says, I think we understand each other, Captain.
See, Rear Admiral, I saw ya. I saw your cool bird you had. You know, anyone who has a bird as a pet. I mean, look, the pet part's kind of bad, but they seem more like a companion. I like it. I reckon I can respect you.
She seems quite taken by you. Not the Rear Admiral, the bird. Like, she's saying this.
It's the plumage. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has that effect. Is there like the phoenix still like poking its head in?
Yeah, and it's doing that thing where it looks at you with one eye and then it like turns its head to look at you with the other eye, and
I do the same thing and then like bristle like my neck feathers, you know, and shake a bit.
Yeah, you see like a ripple of flames across its feathers.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, I think this has been a very, very good thing. Good chat, and it's important that, you know, company is kept well, and I'll remember how much you love control. No, don't worry about that. I apologise if my acting as a free spirit is a little bit too wild. It isn't supposed to be anything but a show.
That's perfectly fine. Now, I will need to request that you get on about your merchant business away from Maribottom, as we have work to do.
I can understand that completely. I will leave with the Golden Company as long as you are happy for us to, leave between the fleet.
Of course, and may the wind fill your sails.
And it was an absolute honour and pleasure to meet you. I hope they fill your sails too. Can I like put my hand out to be like, you know, bow and shake?
Yeah, or she'll
the dainty kiss on the hand.
Yeah, she'll I love the idea that she misinterprets it and puts her hand in yours as if you're like helping her stand up from a seated position. So she stands up as you go to bow.
Love it. It's great.
Kiss the hand.
Great, good.
And you know, she kind of strides out ahead of you. The phoenix kind of hops out of her way.
I'll wave at the phoenix goodbye.
Yeah. It kind of looks at you and gives that kind of mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say anything, just...
Cool with that.
She'll...
Pauly grabs like 3-4 bottles of like whiskey on the top shelf and just chucks them into his bag of holding.
Yeah, of course. So the rest of you from outside, you see her come striding out confidently, her blade still sheathed, no feathers or blood on her at all, as she walks over to sort of one of her lieutenants and says, he's got a name, Kokia, and by this time I think more of the longboats have started arriving, and more goblins and Royal Marines have started mounting the shore and making their way into town. And you catch, you know, some of them like kicking indoors and generally kind of harassing a lot of the locals to, you know, come out and declare themselves and be counted and be whatever.
Perfect. Pauly definitely just saunters out the door about 30 seconds later. Kind of like kicks the door open. He's shoving 2 bottles of whiskey into his bag of holding. The third one he's like uncorking with his beak and spitting the bottle out and going, having a swig. And all right, let's go.
I thought because he was putting this stuff in his bag of holding, it kind of looks like he's playing with, he's doing his belt back up as he walks out.
Yep. Perfect. Yes. Absolutely great.
Walking with that swagger.
Yep. Love that.
Nothing sus.
Yeah. And
big shit-eating grin on his face too, like the dumbest shit-eating grin. And because his feathers are a bit ruffled as well from the display. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think we'll kind of wrap it up here as the Golden Guardians and the other merchants who kind of stayed behind. I actually had a cool photo for Tezra, which I forgot to share.
Dick.
And
Oh, she's awesome.
I gotta take my, still here. Just gotta take my cordial.
She goes to give orders to her troops to kind of take control of the city in no uncertain terms. And you kind of watch and see what looks like a maybe not a military coup, but certainly a military crackdown. Sort of martial law is in effect in Maribottom as you and those other outsiders of the town load up the ETC percentage and get it seaworthy, ready to head off into the sunset.
Actually, speaking of, would we unload the cargo we brought and then get money for that?
From who?
Good point.
They're all dead. We can go sell it to someone else.
Shit, good point. Good point.
Love that.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that wasn't part of your negotiation. You didn't sell it to the army.
Crap.
Unless there was any other bits someone wanted to kind of throw in at the end here before you mount up and head on out.
Cillian will just yell out as they're leaving to the dragon in Draconic.
Sure.
Till next time.
It gives you like a bit of a head nod kind of thing, but nothing big and overt. Pretty much like as you do that and the dragon kind of replies, you see Lord Tempest kind of mount up on the dragon itself, take to the skies, and you see him start doing kind of like aerial patrols around the city.
Well, made friends with the dragon. Oh, well, I wouldn't call them friends. This is me just like relaying information to everyone. Wouldn't say friends, but like made acquaintance with that red dragon. It's got some interesting plans.
Oh yeah. Wait, is it just us? Is it just us now on the ship? Is that what
I think that you guys can kind of retreat to the captain's quarters as the guardians and the few merchants are kind of like finding their little spots on the ship and loading up.
So we may now be privateers of the volcano throne.
It's kind of hard to be a privateer for a throne that is empty.
Yeah, but I mean, they still have a massive admiralty, admiral fleet, so pretty good.
Don't know how
Can
long
we
that's
possibly
gonna
be
last
working
the
for
dragons.
the Volcano Throne and the Golden Guardians? They seem at odds.
I mean, look.
We're just like towing the line.
Oh
you
no,
know?
we're straight up whoring ourselves out to the highest bidder. That's what I'm going for here.
I'm all for that.
The more allies you have, the less enemies you're gonna maybe make. Who knows?
I have a
We
lot of enemies.
definitely need allies right now.
Absolutely. And now the empty throne, the volcano throne, is going to help us find La Floridita and maybe make Ratty love me again. That'd be great.
Did she explicitly say she would help us find the ship?
Yes. And we just had to do like a little favor. You know, they also said they'd give us some trading routes to the Emerald Trading Company so we could easily steal.
What's this favor?
Yeah,
Help
little
them fire
favor?
giant pirates. It's fine.
That the word giant is in the favor's name. I wouldn't call it little, but it'll be fine.
Fuck giants. Anyway, you know what I mean? They're
I'm
all
fine with,
scumbags.
I'm fine with killing giants, but I wouldn't say it's a little favor because they're literal giants.
It's just a small island that's infested with fire giants. You know, maybe a couple ships, the dozen at max.
You are underselling this hard. I'm worried.
Yeah,
But also excited.
Yeah, is it
But,
going to
yeah.
be marine combat or on foot combat?
We can do both, I feel like. You know what I mean? Imagine if we had the barrage, like a barrage of cannon fire from the body ship, from the
Yeah.
ship while we're attacking like at land.
We're gonna have to stop and buy some cannons then.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, maybe
we need to
can
get the
outfit
ship. We need to get the ship back. They're gonna meet us. They're gonna have an intermediary meet us back at the island where we started, where the tea shop is.
Okay, I mean, I can tell. Well, do we trust the Golden Guardians? We could get them to sail the ship back, and we can just teleport ahead as an envoy.
You really want to teleport us, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's already
I really
you
don't
guys-
like
you
being
You guys
on
can
the
go.
open
I'll
ocean.
take the ship. I'll take the ship back.
We believe you that you can do that. Like,
Yeah, no, the thing is, on the open seas, we could die because there's something from the deep seas that's looking for.
I will take the ship back. I like to sail. It's fun. My mullet blows in the wind.
I like to sail
It was
too.
such a good reason. Yeah, I'm enjoying the water,
Let's
honestly.
save the teleport for like a real good reason.
For
This
an
is like
escape.
this is an errand run.
I
Let's-
can't
yeah.
teleport from a moving ship, so if
No.
it attacks us, we are dead.
No, if we're on the small island of fire giants, we'll be on land.
Sounds like an
But we're not
oxymoron.
going there first. We're going to the
No,
envoy
but
first.
I'm just saying, yeah, no, hold off on the spell.
Yeah.
I can use it
Save
whenever
it.
I want.
No, I know you can. I can tell that you really want to
like
use
He
Yeah,
it.
reminds
we
he
believe
reminds
that you
he
can do
remind he reminds me of Sorn so much. It's so cute.
All right, well, if we all
miss
die,
Saul.
just know I warned you.
We're not gonna die on this ship. What are you talking about?
Some of you may die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
I
So,
think Yama
as-
with this like bickering, sorry, Dan, Yama's just kind of like silently, happily enjoying this moment. And he claps the captain on the back and he's like, I appreciate the solitude and the moment to chat.
Mate, you've got every moment you want to chat. I'm all ears for you. Okay, I got time for you. And look, we'll help with you with his son. He's a bit of a dick now, but we can change that. All right, he has a good dad, and that means he'll be all right eventually.
I just can't believe he's going around calling himself some ridiculous name like Lord Tempest. Like,
Yeah,
Tempura is just
yeah.
the best name ever.
Yeah, he's just a bit tempy. He's just had a bit of a tempy tantrum.
I love that we've got Karu and Tempe Tantrum.
As you know, the I guess the credits play on this season, on this sort of like little adventure as we round out the year. You know, we see the sun setting. Pauly, you kind of end your shift, perhaps put Tezra or someone else kind of in charge up top as you find your spot to have a bit of a sleep. And you getting comfy. You perhaps put a bottle of rum under your pillow because that's the only way you can really sleep well on a moving ship. The double water sounds,
Locking
like a
away,
white noise
yep.
generator. And you dream. You dream of yourself on La Floridita. You dream of you're in the captain's cabin that you remember so well, much bigger than this ship that you're in, and you hear Dad, pirates! And you rush outside, and there is a small Aarakocran with black feathers, and he's got a little like wooden sword, and like a felt pirate hat, that says Captain Crowley on him, and you're there with him. And you kind of lift him up, and he's like pointing out to sea, and he's like, "Dad, what are the flags? That's a pirate flag." And you're like,
Yes, it is, son.
"Yep."
Now, what do we do in this situation, son?
We raise the black.
We do raise the black. All right, go get your mum. All right, go get your mum. We'll go take them on, the three of us.
Mum, we're raising the black. And you hear a voice come from out in the like underneath the ship in the cooking area, and say, "Oh well, you're gonna need your strength if you're gonna if you're gonna fight pirates. You're gonna need your strength." And out walks Sorn, holding a plate of baked cookies.
Amazing, love it.
and you realize the black skin of the drow, the black feathers, and you look at your partner and your son with pride as you snooze on hunting pirates.
Love
in
it.
Your dream.
Love it. Love it.
You're just really missing Sawn.
He would have made a great mother. He would have made a great mother.
And then just as you wake up, someone's like, I told you I'd come back to say goodbye.
True.
Yeah.
There's a nightmare crystal under your
Sword as you
pillow.
walk out with baked cookies or whatever it is you've made.
Oh my god.
No, I'd like to think it'd be like some.
We can have that. Actually, we should have that moment. We should have that moment. So, Sawn, you've walked out,
Right.
baked cookies. There's
got a tray of it's a tray of blackberry muffins.
Yeah, good.
You know what I'd
some,
love?
Some
You know what
black,
I'd love if
some
this was?
charcoal dye in them as well, making going really into that dreamscape.
You know what I'd love if this was too, right? Like it was actually like a cookie pie that says goodbye on it. So we never say it in this dream part, right? But the cookie pie is next to me as I wake up.
You'll
just
wake
want a
up with
cookie
You can
pie.
taste it though. You wake up tasting it.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go back into dream mode, and I'm like, it's really weird that you're my wife, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, well, it was the easiest way. It's the easiest dream for you. You long for someone, so it was the easiest dream to sort of interject on and hijack someone, and I thought this would be a good way to do it.
It is. It's sweet. It makes me
Yeah.
happy. But you know what would make me happier? My pal. I miss you,
I
buddy.
can't come back. I can't.
I know. Otherwise, you'd be
Not
there,
yet.
and I know that. And that's okay. You got to be doing your own thing. I'm never going to stop a friend from doing what a friend needs to do. Okay?
But just know, I am keeping an eye on you.
I know. I can tell
that
that
Cillian
now.
guy.
He's really handsome, dude. You're like
He's a
shit.
great replacement.
Like he's just really handsome. Like it's
He's-
fucking wild.
He's a bit nice though. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, he still calls me an idiot.
Yeah, well, you are an idiot. That's just it. That's just you.
Can even dream someone just be nice to me for once?
No, this is a good thing. I'm not saying it in a malicious way. Like you're a lovable idiot.
Come on, man. Like you're supposed to be my
All
wife.
right, you're
okay?
fine.
Say nice things to me. Come on, caress my feathers.
Little
Tell me it's all
Crowley's
gonna be
like,
okay.
why are you fighting? Why are you fighting, Dads?
I like click my fingers and a Crowley just like freezes in place for a second. like wait, it's okay. He's still here. I just wanted to come back and see you face to face. Offer you a nice
I'm-
meal.
I'm happy you did, and you can come
Some-
visit my dreams whenever you want to.
Here is a fine bottle of rum. It has your name on it. It's the Pauly vintage from the black
Pauly.
sand beaches of the dream.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's
Um,
very nice.
You can't take it with you when you wake up, but it will always be in your dreams.
I'm happy with that. If I have unlimited booze in my dreams, then it really is a dream. Okay, it's
Well,
a nightmare without the
made
rum.
made of dream dust, so it will always be there.
All right.
It tastes
and
quite good too. If I do say so myself,
Pauly.
I thought you might like it.
Pauly is going to give you something.
Oh god,
Copper coin.
at the
Yes.
forehead.
Yes, literally. I'm just gonna while we're talking, I've been carving, with one of my knives, and then it's just like a little bird. So I've changed whatever the facade of was just like a little bird, like a parrot. I'm gonna flick it at your head and go, "It was nice seeing you, buddy."
I'm going to grab it and move my hands over it and make another one. I'm going to give that back to Pauly. Be like, if you put this under your pillow, you can have this dream again, but I may not be here.
Thanks, man. Right, perfect. I like that a
And
lot.
on that, I'll say, now,
Sawn goes back to work.
yeah, I'll be right behind you. And I walk through the door, and that's it.
Yeah. And then, so Pauly, you wake up, I guess, and you reach under your pillow. You've got that bottle of rum you were clutching, the taste of blackberry muffins in your mouth, and the sweet memory of a little baby Cochrane boy, and your good friend who said goodbye.
I like that a lot. That was really nice.
And your
that's-
little wooden parrot coin
Yeah.
stuck in your feathers.
Yeah.
Where the feathers that like Sorn would always pull out to grab a quill. That's like there.
That's where it
The
is.
little bald patch. The mini
You're like,
bald
what is
patch.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, a little wooden token, effectively, with a little bird on it. And that's where we'll end for this year.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
That was a lot of fun. Cait, loved your confronting your
Oh,
son.
that was sick.
So good.
Pauly, I love that you obviously just went straight for the Admiral and went, come on. And obviously Dylan just trying to make friends with any Chad he sees.
Yeah. Well, no, I was trying to.
Do any
I
of your
was
characters
really
not know
trying-
Draconic?
Well, Sorn didn't. Sorn just could read everything.
Oh, that's right. And he could talk in their
Yeah.
brains and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And Katie carrying that scrotum. I mean, MVP
No
moment.
one-
Move.
I did the best work.
No one carries a scrote like
hardest
Karu,
work.
okay?
Yeah,
No one fondled that ball.
exactly. No one else could have done that job. It had to be Karu.
Big shout out to obviously Josh and Niall, who've been like obviously watching a lot over the last couple of weeks, and specifically Niall, who I think made a comment that any money you had on the ship when you disembarked was taken by Rufia. He's taken the deed, he's taken everything. The sexy
Oh, because he
tiefling
was
rogue.
squatting. I forgot. He
Yeah.
was in the ship.
That's canon. He's still held up in the bilges somewhere. He's going to offload at the next island.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the game here. We'll have a bit of our post chat, and we'll see you all next year. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, boy.